Hello, YouTube, and thank you so much for tuning in with me today. I have information regarding the Sun Simulator and the technology used in order to operate the Sun Simulator and the reason and purpose and intention behind the Sun Simulator. Okay, without further ado, let's begin. First, I'm going to start by reading to you something that I wrote. So, here it goes. Our entire environment is being cloned, and the original species are all being done away with. There is a technology so advanced it cannot be seen as one body or one entity, but seen as an entire ecosystem that contains life that looks, feels, and acts entirely like ours, yet their genetic code is structured differently. This different encoding allowing them to possess traits the originals do not, all while possessing traits the original plants do possess. This is essentially no different from a virus imitating a cell in an attempt to fool the body so it may accept its presence while remaining unharmed whilst continually inflicting damage. Okay, that was what I wrote. Now I'm going to draw you a picture or a diagram of the Sun Simulator so I can give you a very good description and picture of what it actually, how it actually works. So let's say that this circle image is our sun. Okay, now right underneath this sun is another sun. It's a man-made simulation. It's a man-made sun, and it's called the Sun Simulator, and it has a patent on Google if you just research it. And you will find this big piece of technology right in the sky, and you'll only be able to see it when it shuts down. Now, this Sun Simulator, which is very interesting, is just a replica of our sun, as you can see. Now, what does our sun do? Our sun produces electromagnetic radiation. It also produces UV rays. Now, their sun, I'm unsure if it produces electromagnetic radiation, but what it does do, it pulsates electromagnetic frequencies out onto the environment, known as EMF. These pulsations are basically going out into the known world, our world, the world we live in, and it is continually pulsing outward throughout the sky and on the ground, and it is pulsing at everything that is touching. So that is the Sun Simulator. Now, underneath this Sun Simulator lies replica clouds. So just like we have clouds, humans have their own man-made replica clouds. And these clouds do not rain water, but they rain heavy metal. Nano-sized heavy metal. And these heavy metals are now going out into our environment, our entire environment, and it permeates through the air, it permeates through the wind, and it seeps inside of the ground, and it is all over our atmosphere. It's inescapable. Now, what the sun simulator will do with its electromagnetic frequencies, it will affect these heavy metals. But how does it affect these heavy metals? Why does it affect these heavy metals? It affects these heavy metals because these heavy metals are conductive. And what does, in order for a conductive being to be conductive, it needs electric. So you could say that these nano-sized particles are being released with the intention of programming it with electromagnetic frequencies. These pulsations that the sun simulator is giving off, these frequencies, give these nano-sized particle metals a sort of conduction that the earth could not give it. It is a conduction that is specific for these particles. And what this conduction will then do is program these particles or command these particles and tell them, in other words, how to operate. The sun simulator is like a brain to the body. And what it will do is that it will pulse out these frequencies in order to change the environment. But it cannot just change the environment based off the frequencies that is being produced. They need a catalyst to change the environment, or they need another source of energy, another physical source to be able to actually command and change the weather. So what they did is that they sprayed conductive metals into the sky and into the ground and the air and everything, and they will change the conductivity of the entire environment through these nano-sized particles and the sun simulator. Now that's what they're doing. That's only two pieces to the technology. There's one more piece, and then that involves the actual surface. These particles will seep into the soil They will affect our trees, they will affect our plants, they will seep into the soil, they will affect our air. And however they tell these frequencies to pulse, however they command these frequencies to pulse, will allow the changing of the entire environment through the changing of its conduction. You can say this is a conspiracy or not, but the fact of the matter is that there really is a sun simulator, and we really are being sprayed with heavy metals. Now, how can it be that letting out electromagnetic frequencies from a sun simulator could change the environment? Because the conduction, that is the way the environment changes, through its conduction. When it is hot, the conductivity changes accordingly, and the conductivity itself changes the temperatures. So if a scientist can control the conductivity of the entire Earth, they could control natural disasters, and they could control our environment and our weather and make it exactly as they want it. And it has gotten to the point where it is affecting our trees, these heavy metals. And if you look into this, you'll find that millions of trees are dying. They are dying by the millions. And this is happening because our environment is no longer suitable for natural life. And because our environment is no longer suitable for natural life, what has scientists done to compensate the problem? They gave us genetically modified organisms and said because they're basically trees are dying off in mass, animals are going extinct. Every year, the numbers are rising. We can make genetically modified variations of these plants and animals, and we can unleash them into the environment. So you might be saying, so why is that important? Why does it matter if somebody releases genetically modified organisms into the environment? Why does it matter if somebody changes the weather? Why does it matter if somebody has a sun simulator in the sky? Why does it matter if we're being sprayed with heavy toxins, heavy metals, concentrations of heavy metals that are toxic to us? I'll tell you why this matters. Okay, so the conduction of our Earth is no longer natural. We have lost the conduction of our Earth to scientists. They are now in control of the atmosphere, the environment, when it rains, when it's sunny, when it storms, when it doesn't, when there's a hurricane, when there's a twister. We have lost our natural conduction to planet Earth. And that is why it is important that the sun simulator be not in existence, but it is. So we have lost our Earth's natural conduction and is being controlled by people. That is bad. I shouldn't even have to explain why that's bad. Now, Earth does not have full control over the environment, but people have control over the environment. And although this is okay that we have some control over our environment, but when it's to the degree where we take natural disasters and we formulate them to destroy other people, then it becomes a problem. Now, chemtrails, the chem clouds, why is that a problem? Because they're spraying heavy metals over us. Aluminum, barium, and lithium poisoning, which are 3 heavy metals contained inside of chemtrails, in high concentrations, by the way, are toxic to humans, plants, and animals in high concentrations and can cause disease, disorders, sickness, deformities, and genetic damage. And this is just from the spraying over us. So if you ask yourself why are there new diseases every year, well, this is why there are new diseases every year. There's genetic damage being caused, and people are ingesting, and people are being changed, and people's conductivity is being changed based off of the sun simulator. Because you have to think about it. Not only is the environment, conductivity of the environment being changed, but our conductivity too. Because when we consume these heavy metals, which we are just by breathing it in, and the sun simulator pulses its frequencies, the sun simulator was meant to specifically target those metals, those nano-sized particle metals that are inside of us. So it's affecting us as well, directly. It's not even an indirect impact, it's a direct impact. And to the GMOs are not natural, and they have the capacity, the capability to destroy all natural life. Because once a genetically modified organism mates with a natural organism, the offspring is now genetically modified. It is no longer natural. So that's all I want to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if this gets enough attention, I'll make a really in-depth video on how all of this works, step by step. Thank you.